one of the comments you hear from people who really haven't looked at this in detail is, well, how much is a human life worth? Is one day of your life worth something to you?
It's not
the answer
for us
is you
to
can put a
say.
number on it.
Yeah,
the quality
but it's
adjusted
hard. Yeah, it's hard to sit in front of a patient who's doing well but has no treatment, whose performance status is good, and they want more treatment. It's hard to say, well, I'm not going to give you this treatment. When you're sitting in front of somebody, it's a very difficult thing to do, and you want to help your patient. You want to give them the longest life possible, and you don't know if that patient is going to get 1 month out of that treatment or be on the other end of the curve and get, a year.
You do know statistically that as a group, 1 month is expected, 5 years is not.
Correct.
But you can't do that on a one-by-one basis,
No,
can
you can't.
This is tough, right?
Although it is being done in other countries, right? I mean, they negotiate with the insurance company, with the pharmaceutical companies, and they'll say, we'll pay such and such for this drug, and we won't approve this drug because it's not good enough.
Yeah, or you can only give one at a time, one good drug at a time. In other countries, you can't get carfilzomib with lenalidomide with dex. You can get one or the other.
Right. This brings to mind, who are the best negotiators here, right? Which is really what is interesting to me in this regard.
Right.
Are the DPOs really good at negotiating, or are the specialty pharmacies who are set up to deal with the pharmaceutical companies, and we alluded to this earlier, are they better at negotiating? So who's better at handling all of these issues? The specialty pharmacy or the provider? Anybody want to jump in on this?
Well, so there's a lot of pieces to that. Because if you look at specialty pharmacies and the PBMs in general, what do? They pick the most expensive drugs in their plans. That's how they make their money. So it's not in the PBM's best interest to use lower cost drugs in their patient population, is to use higher cost drugs. That's why you're seeing the cost of care go through the roof with oral oncolytics. It's not going the other way. So I don't know who the best negotiators are. I don't know if that's really the job of the federal government to be negotiating prices for Medicare. I mean, certainly that's not part of current legislation. That would certainly be a huge change for the government to be able to negotiate prices. But to your point, it does happen in Europe, where the government says we're going to pay X for it, otherwise we're not using it.
Yeah, the concern now is, even when we were trying to discuss the Affordable Care Act, there was the death panel, right? The discussion of which drugs should we approve or not, and who makes those decisions. So in UK is the NICE committee, which is, some people think it's not nice.
The NICE
so who does it here? I wouldn't be in that panel. I don't want to put myself there.
But unless somebody is going to evaluate the drugs and evaluate the cost of the drug versus the benefit of the drug, then it's the Wild West out there. No?
It is. It is.
Well, that's interesting anyway. Stay tuned, because this doesn't have an answer in the immediate future.
To Noah's point, it can't continue. The bank will break. As all of these new agents come on board and they're costing, and now with CAR T cell therapies, you're getting into the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
$500,000 per.
Well, stop.
It's not
$500,000 per what?
Per treatment.
Per the whole treatment for the patient to get the.
How long does this treatment
That's
go
not
on?
facility fee. That's just the
It's
company
just
drug
the
fee.
drug.
That's
It's just
the
Novartis
drug.
delivering the cell that was actually apheresed in the office, sent back to them, and once it leaves the office, it becomes part of the
But
manufacturer.
they only get paid if it works.
Exactly. Well, that's the only thing. But we know it works. CD19 positive, right? So, yeah.
But it works.
But I still can't get my mind around $500,000. Is this per treatment, per year, per course of the disease? And how many treatments do you typically need?
No, just one.
Hopefully one.
Just one. Okay. And we're going to move on.
And it's not a cure.